Hello everyone and welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for being here. This is your Astro Today, so the update on the astrology of what's been happening just recently and what we're going through now and in the next few days. So today is the 17th of October 2020. So this is recorded in Greek time, so 2:30 in the afternoon, PM, in Greece. So, okay, only a few hours ago we had that new moon in the sign of Libra, where the moon and the sun come together. And for those of you that have not watched my new moon reading, remember that one new moon until the next new moon it's the cycle of the moon. So from a full moon to another full moon, we know that it's the cycle of the moon, which takes 28 point something days. Okay, we know the cycle of the moon. It takes practically a month, roughly. So therefore, this new moon will start something that will be completed by the next new moon, which the next new moon, of course, will be in the sign of Scorpio. Okay, as the sun will be ingressing into Scorpio, it will be Scorpio season. Also, happy birthday if it is your birthday today. That means that this new moon is right on your birthday. Now, please watch the video as I've gone into details about this new moon, as it is a very lucky new moon, even though it's under a lot of pressure, as we've got the T-square here still going. So it's cardinal energy. Remember, Libra is all about cardinal. It's the beginning of a season, right? So I'm starting something. I've got the urge, the need to start something. And Libra is the house of partnerships. It is the house of balance and equilibrium, coming into balance, having those important conversations as we've got Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the communicator in the sign of Scorpio. Mercury has started its retrograde 3 days ago, and it will be moving backwards, or give you the illusion that it's moving backwards. It will ingress back into Libra. So I do go into the details. So it's all about those important conversations. And remember that Mercury is right across from Uranus. Okay, so sudden revelations of information coming up from the depths of Scorpio, and now the moon has entered Scorpio. So the moon in Scorpio, what are the energies of Scorpio? It's dark, it's the occult, it's water, right? It can speak of fears as well. It does go very deep. The moon goes very deep when it's in the sign of Scorpio, so it can bring up fears, it can bring up strong intuition. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto is all about transformation. It's all about the resurrection of something, but having those important conversations. And the moon, remember, it's our emotions, it's our psyche. And because this is quite a dark moon, it can bring up fears, it can bring up strong emotions of, Scorpio being also the house of intimacy. Scorpio is very hidden, so the moon takes on an energy of trying to see what is hidden, especially as it's coming closer to Mercury. Now, Mercury is conjunct Juno, the planet of the asteroid of commitments. Okay, how do we love and nurture our relationships? How are we loved and nurtured by others? Remember that there will be shocking things coming up to the surface. Remember, Uranus it's rebellion. It is doing things in a different way, in a very different way, because Uranus is the right mind. It's having that wider perspective, that 2020 vision. Uranus rules Aquarius, okay? So, and Mercury is all about communicating through social media. The internet is under the rulership of Uranus. Conversations through groups and associations, which is Uranus. Okay, so things will be shown to us, things that have got to do also with the future, because Uranus is the future. It's scientific, very scientific, right? And Uranus also rules humanitarianism, the people, being part of a group or doing things differently, being the maverick within a group or an association. So we've got the new moon that just happened, and it is still in a T-square to Mars retrograde. Mars, which is also connected to Aries, which is the goddess of discord. They say that Mars and Aries were brother sister. So we know that Mars is all about war. Mars loves to go into battle. It is retrograde in its home sign of Aries. So we've got Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Mercury the communicator, and of course Mars the warrior, the action, the fire. Again, Aries is also cardinal, so there is a cardinal T-square as both the Sun and Mars and Black Moon Lilith here. They're connected to these big players. This karmic energy of Capricorn, again, cardinal energy. So there is a lot of fire, the pressure is building, but the beautiful thing is that we've got a couple of lucky stars that are connected to the new moon. So as I said, I go into detail on the new moon reading that I've done. So the energies are quite dark in the area here as the moon, even the sun. I mean, the 21st degree of Libra is a degree that Saturn loves. That's where Saturn is very strong. So this is like going into the darkness right now, people. I mean, this area is quite dark. And with the moon, because it stays in each sign for 2.5 days, the next couple of days will be like emotionally digging deep, okay, within our psyche, not being frightened to go deep and have those difficult conversations. So, of course, once the moon hits the sign of Sagittarius, it will be more jovial, there will be more excitement. Remember, it's our emotions, the moon. So we're talking about relationships, right? Libra and Scorpio. Scorpio is intimacy, committing on a deep level. And of course, because the moon moves quickly, it will move into Sagittarius in a couple of days, so the energies will change. We've also got this T-square here, so connecting, of course, the moon, which moves quickly, Juno and Mercury. They are connected to Hygeia, which has got to do with health in the sign of Leo. Leo is, remember, it's ruled by the sun. So the sun is clarity, it's healing. Leo is wanting to take a risk to create. So under a lot of pressure, as remember, Uranus is also very scientific. So this could be a scientific discovery where health is concerned. Now, when we have a T-square, and the T-square, this second T-square is amongst the fixed energies of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and this T-square obviously also introduces the energy of Aquarius, which is right across Leo. So the axis Leo Aquarius. Remember that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, but also the ancient ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. It is Saturnian. So Aquarius has got that Saturnian side. So it's like there is something that we're trying to build here through pressure, but the work needs to be done as there is no leg to stand on, because whatever is going on in Leo, it is in opposition to Aquarius. So this axis of Aquarius and Leo is being activated with this T-square. And it's got a lot to do with Mercury, with Juno, and Hygeia being in the sign of Leo. Leo, remember, again, is the sun. It's true love, it's children, it's clarity, it's generosity. So we're looking at the axis of Leo, which speaks of, it's the child, it's the ego, and Aquarius. So something that I'm creating on my own versus doing this within a group or an association, or bringing healing to humanity. Remember that there is so much going on with the coronavirus right now. What is necessary through this pressure is to discover, because Taurus is the physical body, Uranus, the scientist, discovering something to do with healing, okay, through giving birth to something to do with Scorpio. And Scorpio is things that are deep. Remember that Scorpio is the serpent, so therefore the serpent can speak of anything to do with healing. So finding the medicine, digging deep, having those important conversations, working together with others, and also Mercury is also the child. Okay, so it's curiosity, it's making an important decision, being curious, looking for the answers, connected to even the fifth house is the house of the child. So what is a child? The child is all about newness. It's very curious. So it uses its innocence, it uses its curiosity, its fresh energy. And that's what we need. We're looking for that leg to step on where matters of health are concerned. And also this T-square, which whatever is going on in Capricorn, all the transformation, which has got to do with worldly matters, of course. The outer planets, remember, they have got to do with the collective. And the transformation that is going on here in the sign of Capricorn, it is right opposite to the sign of Cancer. So we're looking for nurturing, providing, being mothered, finding that that security through Gaia. Remember that the fourth house is Cancer. It's our home, it's our family, it's our country. It's got to do with things of the deep past as well, anything to do with our heritage. So everyone is on a different level, on a different path. So we're all dealing with a lot of matters. Some people are dealing with one certain area of life. Others of us are dealing with 2 or 3 things that are going on in our life at this point. So, as I said, for everyone, it's different. So I do hope that this gives you a little bit of clarity. Also, what we're having and what's very important here is Venus in opposition to Neptune. Neptune is spirit. Neptune is unconditional love. It's a form of escapism as well. It can mean illusion. So for those of you that are dealing with Neptunian matters, and of course Venus in Virgo, Venus is not happy in Virgo, so she's not that strong there. And there is an opposition that she's in. So where do we come from? What do we provide? Because Virgo is the house of service. It's the house of work. It's also pure, very pure and innocent. So there is an opposition there, which, this could be doing the work, providing the service, showing the unconditional love, so that we could clear anything that was missing for us. Venus is helping us find the solution to anything that was confusing, anything that was misconceived, misinterpreted, especially having Mercury retrograding, okay, which is all about digging deep for the answers. And because Neptune is spirit, Venus is love, it's nurturing, it's Venusian energies. Now, Venus is anything that brings love to our life. It's also, this could be a project that we're working on, that we are creating, because Neptune is very creative as well. And Neptune is still connected to Jupiter. And that is absolutely beautiful, as we've got Jupiter, which means truth, it means expansion, growth. Jupiter is moving direct. It is conjunct Pluto. So Pluto can mean riches, riches to the people. Jupiter can mean truth, the law, the meaning of life. It can mean expansion, luck, growth amongst the masses, amongst your situation where in some area of life, which is Capricorn for you. Where do you have Capricorn in your own personal chart? That's where you are transforming a situation. As Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter are moving direct. Okay. Now, what is interesting here, and I need to point this out, and Venus is at the 17th degree now, and we did have Jupiter. Jupiter stopped at 17 degrees a little while ago and started to turn direct. So the 17th degree, which Jupiter was stopped at, and when a planet is stopped, its energy is amplified. So that 17th degree is very important because it was connected to the new moon in Virgo. So we're talking about the beginning of the Virgo season. Now Venus has come to the 17th degree. Imagine Venus in a trine to Jupiter, and that is what is coming up for us. That will be happening in a couple of days. So we're already in those energies. And why I'm mentioning that Jupiter stopped at the 17th degree is because Venus is there and the new moon in Virgo was there. So there is something brand new that is starting, something that you've started, let's say, or you could be seeing the actualization of it. Remember, Venus, love, beauty, projects, connected in a trine to Jupiter in Capricorn with Saturn moving direct, Pluto moving direct, Jupiter moving direct. This is the rewards. Here we're receiving the rewards for what we've been either providing a service towards or something that comes from pure, true love. Okay, remember again, Jupiter is spiritual as well. So Venus and Jupiter, they're both in earth signs, which makes things practical. It makes things real. It's not an illusion, just like Neptune can be. It's not airy-fairy. It's practical. It's based in reality. And now Venus is the lower octave of Neptune. So, being more practical. Remember that Venus, especially in Virgo, it's something real versus something ethereal. Okay, so unconditional spiritual connection versus a connection based in reality, a pure, natural, daily sort of a love connection here. So this can be a bit of a tug of war, because I feel the fact that it's in opposition, because in opposition is I magnetize, but I pull in, but I also push outwards. It's like trying to find the balance and the harmony. Again, equilibrium. It's the same axis. Virgo, Pisces has got to do with health. It can speak of physical health, psychological, spiritual health as well. And there is work being done there as well. It's very, very positive, depending on which perspective you take, which perspective, from which angle. Just like the Hanging Man, remember, you need to change your perspective and bring love into a situation so that I mean, the help from spirit is coming through. What do we do with it? That is the question here. Now, we've also got Mars still trining over to the South Node. Mars retrograde, redirecting the energies. A trine is also very helpful. So this is help in burning those bridges. If this is something that we need to let go of, because the South Node is something karmic, something that we need to grow away from, we need to do the work towards the North Node in Gemini, remember. And of course, Mars is sextiling. So again, that is help from spirit, but we need to take action towards that. The biggest help here, the trine is something that will happen whether we take action or not. It's flowing energy, it just comes naturally. So Mars is working hard. Mars is doing the work. It's the warrior. It's instigating things so that we could shed that dead skin of the South Node, anything to do with karma. Okay, so also interesting that Neptune is at 18 and we've got the North Node in a square. Which is a square is always that we need change. We want to change something. Now, this is mutable. I mean, Pisces and Gemini, this is the mutable cross. So Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo, that is the mutable. They're the mutable signs which do mutate. They transmutate so that they can fit in or grow accustomed to a situation. But the North Node is calling us that we need to do the work where unconditional love, Pisces again, remember, it's spirit. It's saying that spiritually we need to not, at this time, not try and escape, not get lost, and not feel that we are alone, but we are all as one, and humanity is doing the work now, moving into what is our calling. Remember that when we look at the sky, it's the collective energy. We're all affected by that. So that's where we are all as one. Our own personal birth chart shows our own destiny, our own personal individualized fate. That's why we need to look at our own natal chart to see what is our own personal journey. When we look at the collective and looking at the transits, at what's going on in the stars now, yes, we are affected, but it is a collective energy that we're working with. And yes, it does affect our lives, but that's on another level. So what we've had a couple of days ago is the Sun squaring over to Pluto. So 2 days ago, imagine that the Sun moves a degree a day. So 2 days ago, it was exact. Okay, now, not easy energies, not easy at all. And remember, the squares bring on changes. Without the squares, the work will not be done. We will not be pushed towards change, and change is healthy. Now, Pluto means transformation, yes. We're looking at what is hidden. The Sun is the light, right? And remember that the Sun is the ruler of our solar system. Pluto is transformation. It's so small. It's the smallest planet in our solar system, but it's the most powerful. So this is us looking deep into the darkness, or seeing what needs to be done for the transformation to come through. Now, the Sun is the ruler. It's the ruler of our world. It's the ruler of the governments. It's the boss. It's the king. It is squaring over to Pluto, which Pluto is also the masses. It's the people. It's population. So this is pressure building. Remember that the Sun now in the position it's at will be squaring also over to Saturn. That will be happening tomorrow. So in the next few hours, by the time you receive this this reading, the information, the Sun will be square Saturn. So again, that closed door, that barrier. Saturn is karma. Saturn is the general. Now, the general here says you want clarity. You want, this is your ego. The Sun is our ego. Have you done the work? Have you been standing in integrity or not? Or do you have the patience? Have you grown through these lessons? Well, this is going to be another full stop, that you're going to have to wait for what you want to manifest, something long-term that you are working on. Remember that Capricorn is the boss. It's also career. It's the house of career, but it's also it's our goals and our aspirations. It's also the house of status. Libra is the house of partnership, and we do have a square here. That's why a lot of relationships are going through trials and tribulations. Will they last? Will they make it through? That is the question. Anyway, so straight after this square, then we are having the exact opposition of Venus and Neptune. Then we have, in a couple of days, we're having Mars exactly, precisely squaring over to Jupiter, as you could see here, as Jupiter is at the 19th degree and Mars is there as well. So quite forceful. This is like, remember, again, what I'm going to say is that Aries is the seed that we're wanting to, that maybe we've planted or we're trying to plant. As a retrograde says, that we're dealing with matters of the past or something that we've already begun, we're trying to work on, right? This could be also because Jupiter can mean the law. It's the law, the governments in the sign of Capricorn. Mars is the warrior, it's the individual, because Aries is the start. It's I start something. Aries is I, me, my. So the individual against the law, the teacher, the lessons. Okay, so again, a square is, and this could be because Jupiter amplifies on the difficulties. I mean, Mars retrograde can be, especially as it's close to Black Moon Lilith, this could be very aggressive. It's very warlike, very frustrating, right? And Jupiter can expand on these energies of Mars here. So that could be quite challenging, actually. And that will be happening in a couple of days. So get your foot off the accelerator when it's not time. It's not time, right? When the doors open, it will open. Now, this is saying to me, what this is saying to me is Mars with Jupiter connecting in a square. It's saying go the spiritual way. Go with your truth. Don't go with force. Don't go with fire. Use integrity. Use your beliefs. Try and look at the bigger picture and know that when it's ripe, that's when we pick the apple off the tree, right? Okay, and we're also having a lover's quarrel here in a couple of days. So we've got Venus and Mars in an in conjunction, which is saying that something needs tweaking. Okay, so again, something needs to be done here because we've got the lovers of the zodiac. Not the energy is not flowing easily. So there is something weird around this connection, around this relationship. There is something off kilter, okay? And this could also mean, psychologically, because we do have Mars conjunct Black Moon Lilith. Now, Venus comes from purity, from love, but she's not strong there. And this could be someone coming through, a connection coming through from your past that will be redirected will have the chance to be refixed, because, as I said, something needs tweaking here, and we do have retrogrades, so situations do come back for fixing. Now, straight after that, it's still on a couple of days, we've also got the exact trine of Venus and Jupiter. So this is the door opening. This is absolutely easy flowing energy. And again, I'm going to say that Jupiter does not like to be in Capricorn and Venus does not like to be in Virgo. So it is beautiful energy, but there is something missing here. It's like having, you've cooked up a beautiful dish and you've forgotten to add the salt. So there is something there that is missing. Now, straight after that, in 3 days, so around the 20th, we're having Mercury exact, as Mercury is retrograding, it will be exact Uranus again. So, wow, what is that tower moment going to be all about? What is that going to be all about? Because remember that Mercury was in opposition to Uranus as it was moving direct. So when it moved over the 9th degree, it did connect to Uranus. So I don't know what happened for you. Like, this is not long ago. This may be 10 days ago if this connection took place. Now with Mercury retrograde again, and Uranus of course is in retrograde motion, again they will be meeting up again in opposition. Now remember that Uranus in Taurus can be freaky weather. This could be tower moments, sudden revelations coming through. It can be quite stressful because Uranus is the nervous system. Uranus is the higher mind. It's, again, it has got to do with that 20/20 vision, seeing things from above, from a different, wider perspective. And Uranus is also, I'm going to rebel, I'm going to break free. I'm moving towards my freedom because I cannot find, someone is not being truthful with me. They're not opening up to have that important conversation about how we need to connect and nurture each other and connect even on a sexual level. Sexually intimate, but also emotionally intimate level. Okay, and then around the 20th, still we are having Venus. Venus will be connecting in a square to the North Node. As once she'll be coming closer to the 21st degree, the square will be tightening up. So things to do with love, things that are fated, okay? Fated. And remember, Virgo and Gemini both ruled by Mercury. Okay, so that will be interesting. And on the 21st, roughly, Venus will be connecting in a trine with Pluto. So she's coming up to the 22nd degree. That is transformation, going deep where love is concerned. That is like the phoenix rising up from its ashes. And that will be happening on the 22nd of October, to be exact. But we feel the energies, things happen before the exact connection. So that will be very interesting, right? Because again, we're dealing with Earth, Virgo and Capricorn. And they are brother, sister, okay? So for those of you that are familiar with your own chart, you know where Virgo is in your chart and you know where Capricorn is. So therefore you can practically understand what is happening for you and which area of life you are you're working with, which area of life this is a major change where things that you love are concerned and a rebirth is concerned. So for those of you that are not familiar, you can always reach out. I can read your chart. I can tell you what's going on for you and in your personal journey. And that will be happening Venus trine Pluto just before the Sun moves into Scorpio. So I'd like to wish Scorpios a happy birthday. I will be back with more details, with more Astro today. I think I will leave it there as I don't want to go too far ahead. I want to thank you all so much for being here and for your beautiful comments. It does give me a lot of pleasure to hear that this is helping you in, some way, that you could see what's going on in the collective and how it's affecting you and in your own personal journey as well. So, this is me giving to you. You give back to me by commenting, by sharing the videos. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I am wishing you well. I'm so looking forward to that blue moon on Halloween, which will be a full moon in Taurus. Of course, the sun will be in Scorpio. So, as I mentioned in my last reading, those of you that are born on Halloween, something extraordinary will be happening for you because this is a blue moon, the second consecutive full moon in the month of October. So this is rare. And Scorpio is very Halloweenish, right? So having a full moon, having the sun there, I mean, the full moon is the sun and the moon opposite each other. So what are we going to see? And I will be doing another video on that full moon, as it is quite rare. I'd love to hear your comments about how you like the astrology, what's going on for you in your own personal journey. Now, on a collective scale, we are just before the elections in the US, so this is a very pressurized time. Know that the whole world is going through transformation. A lot of things are going to be known. A lot of things will be shown that were hidden, to do with governments, to do with the bankers, to do with people who are in positions of rulership, okay? A lot of things are going to be shown, which can be quite striking, quite shocking. The world is going to, I feel that the world is going to stop for a moment and just be in awe, in shock, and this is coming up in the near future, everyone. So we're going through that birthing canal, as I usually say. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're 2.5 months away from the end of 2020. And 2020 is a year of shedding the old and, again, rising up from our ashes. It's the phoenix rising up from its ashes on a macro and on a micro scale. So hold on tight, hold on to your hats, and don't forget to keep love. Keep love with you. Trust in spirit. Have the faith that what we're going through is necessary. Okay, and I wish you all well. And I want to thank you, and I will leave it there. Love and light to all of you. Talk to you soon. Have a lovely weekend.